is Wallo Bertschinger. I'm from Switzerland, and I was invited to Goodwood Revival a couple of years ago. And at the time, we weren't able to come because the motorcycle was not ready to race yet. So then was COVID, and during COVID, it was impossible to bring the motorcycle to the United Kingdom. But then this year, we finally made it, and we were invited by Lansdowne Trophy and the Goodwood organization, who were glad to be here. The motorcycle was produced in 1950 at the Vincent works in Stevenage. I think it's not sure that the bike went to Belgrade, but then it came back and it was kind of cannibalized. In 1964, the motorcycle was sold, and he then decided to bring the motorcycle back to its earlier use as a racing motorcycle. You find a lot of documents about that particular part in time. Then the motorcycle was sold to a guy in Norway. Espen Oddberg rode the bike on the road in Norway. So finally, he sold it in 2010, and I was able to be the sixth owner. The motorcycle was in a different condition. It was road prepared, not race prepared. So in 2013 then, I asked this particular gentleman, Mr. Glyn Johnson, to do a restoration and to bring the bike to its original condition. So he restored it to works condition, and finally now we're racing it.
My name's Glyn Johnson. I've spent the last 30 years restoring Vincent motorcycles specifically. I was approached by Wallo 10 years ago or 12 years ago to look at his Black Lightning he purchased in the state he purchased it and what could be done with it. We had a long discussion and decided that this is a really historical machine, probably only one of about 20 left, and it was important on the one hand to race it and let people see it, but on the other hand to not change it too much and modernise it and meet modern reggies and all the rest of it, which would detract from people seeing one as it would be produced in 1950. So the decision was made to restore it back to its original condition as it would have been purchased and let people see, hear, smell one as it was in 1950. And what better place to do it than Goodwood? In fact, Goodwood's one of the only circuits where we can actually run it with the open pipes. However, on the downside, this does mean we've got our hands tied in terms of competitiveness because we're racing against 1950.
I started motorcycle racing when I was 50, so quite late. And then I found a Black Shadow motorcycle in Switzerland, which was prepared for hill climb racing. And I did a couple of hill climb with that particular motorcycle. When I was on track, I had the dream of racing the Isle of Man, the Manx Grand Prix with the historic motorcycle, and I had to qualify, but I didn't have a motorcycle for qualification, so I decided to do one qualification for the Manx Grand Prix in Cartagena, which was a 6-hour endurance race with the Black Shadow. We didn't finish last. It was a wonderful experience, and it was the beginning of the story, because I knew that Vincent motorcycles back in time were also doing endurance races. So we proved that it was possible to race the Black Shadow for 6 hours. After that, I qualified with a patent for the Manx Grand Prix. I did that in 2011, and with the Honda 600. And after that particular time, I was together with Dario Tosolini. He was a works driver with patent in Italy, and there our story begins. And then I found that motorcycle from Ed Spenotberg, and I said, okay, now I want to have the real thing.
I'm Dario Tosolini and I'm from Italy. Sorry for my English. And I am very, very honored to be here in Goodwood and to be able to ride a so beautiful motorcycle. It's not so simple because it is a genuine motorcycle, and this is a very big privilege to be on it. We have a little problem with the brake system because at that time there wasn't the circuit like the new one where you have to stop your motorcycle in a very short time. But it's very, very beautiful and super stable motorcycle, as I can see yesterday during the wet practice. If we look the mechanical of this motorcycle, we can see that it's totally different if we compare with the modern motorcycle. But the engine is working like a new motorcycle. We don't have any electronics device on it. We don't have any support, electronic support. So you must ride the motorcycle with your heart, just with your heart, with your mind.
All racing bikes go through a period of evolution, either because they get continuously raced and modified, or because owners do their own thing with it, and they degenerate as the years go by. So there's lots of things like it. I'm quite sure it's had accidents in its past as well, racing incidents, sorry. And so there's all these sort of things, wear and tear, and in Vincent terms that means things to the people that know, things like bearings coming out and spindles turning and cylinder liners coming loose, all things that did happen to them in the day. If we were building this to race competitively, we'd build it quite differently. Yesterday, although it was an awful wet day, it was about 10 miles an hour down on the leader in practice. Today, we're looking like a bit drier weather. We can probably open it a bit more, but that would also open up the disadvantage, I think. So we'll see. You know, we've got two good riders with Dario and Dominic, and they're under strict orders to race it hard, but within certain RPM limits to preserve the bike. So we'll see how we go.
guys all getting ready. It's Davey Todd near us, and you can see some big, and here they go, and they're off. So first leg across the bike, who's going to be away first? No, it looks like number 38, and it's always a bit tight as they come across there, so great start there by, that looked like James Hillier.
Yeah, James Hillier, and I joked about people from about 9th, and the pole-starting bikers have got a problem because Davey Todd is reaching down. Now I think he's got it hooked up. Missed a gear, fallen to about 6th place.
Guys look like they're going to miss the window, so that is really unfortunate. That's the Vincent Black Lightning of Dominic Herbertson and Dario Tossolini, so they are going to be penalised, unfortunately, because they've got to have got in within that 8 minute, and they haven't.
Oh, that moment in the pit lane, on the pit wall, when you've been trying to indicate for lap after lap, and you're riding, maybe just having too much fun, but that will be dropping that way down the order. But right now, it's Michael Russell leading the way, 1.3 seconds clear at the end of the previous lap, and this one, is he going to come in now just for the sake of it through the chicane? Bike number 37, the one that is now in trouble.
And he hasn't gone again.
No, he's just having too much fun.
So he's completely missed it, or I think that's his teammate going, what's going on? What's happening? So yeah, so that's unfortunate. So they're going to be penalised, but he's obviously enjoying himself out there.
Yeah.
The motorcycle was intended to race. That's why we race today. The parts, some of them are genuine, in particular also at the motor or the engine. So you can't race it that often.
If we go down the route of trying to improve it, then you're into changing exhaust pipes, changing compression, maybe the bore and stroke rates, lots and lots of things. But at what point does it cease to be what it is, a Black Lightning? So this is about racing the heritage.